Hello and welcome to TC Sports. My name is Jacob Butsy, alongside Aaron Klinker and Andrew Schultz. This podcast is getting underway. We have the 10th episode
This many.
coming at you. We're talking baseball. We're talking NFL, college football, NHL. Pretty soon we'll be talking about the NBA and college basketball. Crazy, absolute madness. So, why wait? Let's just get started.
Yes,
Ain't that right, boys?
Yes, sir. All
Here
right.
we go.
Strikeout.
All right.
Jacob
So we're
Butts.
gonna introduce this little segment. This is for the MLB. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this started. So we are heading into the World Series. The World Series. The Houston Astros are making the World Series for playing against the Philadelphia Phillies. And according to my notes here, the Astros are unbeaten in the playoffs currently. They reached the fourth World Series in 6 years. That's just unbelievable. That's just crazy to me that one team can do it. And you know what? They're the one team in this playoff that, besides maybe the Phillies, that didn't buy their team. So it's just great. It's just great. So Houston is obviously going to be favored in this World Series. The Phillies ended the season 87-75. Astros were 106-56. I really like the Astros. The Astros have one of the Cincinnati Reds' old managers in Dustin Baker, who is just a genius. If only he was successful in Cincinnati, but of course, not as much money. Philadelphia, playing really, really good baseball right now. They're a very hot team right now. I never thought they'd end up making it, especially after firing their manager a couple weeks into the season. They got Bryce Harper. They got Nicholas Castellanos. Their pitchers. I mean, it's just absolutely madness with this team. Let's kind of preview the first World Series game. So this World Series game is going to start this Friday at 8:03. The pitchers look like are not determined yet, but I'm guessing that Aaron Nola and Justin Verlander are probably going to be the starters. Zach Wheeler might be playing, it just kind of depends. But the Phillies beat the Padres to get to the World Series 4-1. And then the Astros, again, like I said, they swept. And that's just how it is. Honestly, I didn't see this coming. I really didn't. The Dodgers are the biggest disappointment right now. In regards to, they had the most wins. They bought the team. They bought to win and just did not succeed. And it's really surprising to me. So game 1 will start Friday in Houston. Then game 2 is Saturday in Houston, and they will get a day off on Sunday and return on Monday in Philadelphia. All those games are starting at 8:00, and next we'll preview a little bit. By next week will be 3 games. We're recording. The 4th game will be going on in Philly, so we'll kind of see how that's going on then. And just what an unbelievable baseball season we've had. I think it's been one of the most underwhelming, but I'm glad that we had somewhat of a different team in the World Series this year. So that is Strikeout with your host. And move on to Hot Takes. All right. I know this is one of our favorite parts of TC Sports, so we're just going to go ahead and get started. Hot take for episode.
Well, this is a college football hot take. I know, right? I'm actually making something other than NFL hot take. I think that again, Alabama is going to upset for the end of this season. I'm not sure who they got coming up, but I think they're going to be a 2-loss team, and if that happens, they're not going to be able to compete for SEC championship or a college football playoff spot. So the tide will be rolling out of the college football playoff contention.
Interesting. Well, I mean, that's a hot take. Everyone is still like, even though Bama loses, they're still like, well, Bama's still a good team, they'll be fine. But someone else, like maybe like if Georgia lost, they wouldn't even care that Georgia lost. They would just be like, well, they're done, blah 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 blah. Bama, I don't know. I could honestly see Bama losing again. I agree with you 100%. I honestly, at this point, as much as I don't want them to, I could kind of see them losing LSU at LSU.
And Jacob, here's why. Because I got ESPN pulled up on my phone, and I'm looking at their next 2 games. They got a bye week this week, and then starting in November, they play LSU, they play Ole Miss, and say what you will about LSU, but they're not a terrible team. Like you can say whatever you want about Brian Kelly. You can say whatever you want about LSU, just in general. But they are not a terrible team.
No, and they got to go 2 LSU and 2 Ole Miss still. So those are not going to be easy feats to get past. And then if they can get past LSU and Ole Miss, they're going to win.
I don't know. Don't sleep on Austin Peay, the Governors, Bama's only favored 99.6%,
Listen, let's be real here for a second. If there's one thing that this season has taught us, literally anything happen.
Yes, but not that.
So,
you never know.
Oh,
it's probably not going to, let's be real, but I'm not leaving anything out of the realm of possibility. Would I pick Alabama, or would I pick Austin, whatever their name is, Piet, over Alabama? God, no.
Piet.
Whatever. There's a reason I don't know their name.
Fair enough.
All right. Andrew Schultz with a take.
All right. So, pardon for the bad Wi-Fi. My computer's being really slow today, so if the video is very breaky uppy, it's because of my computer.
Breaky uppy. I love that quote.
Came up with it myself. My hot take is going to be the Denver Broncos will fire Nathaniel Hackett before the end of the season.
I mean,
yeah.
Listen. The usually some coaches in some organizations, this is either NFL or college football, they know whether it's a draft/recruiting thing or if it's strictly the coach. I couldn't believe that they held on to Scott Frost as long as they did at Nebraska. But example, Urban Meyer, there was just too much happening behind the scenes and all too much talk. And that's how it seems with Nathaniel Hackett. They just feel like he doesn't know how to manage a game. Now, he's a first-time head coach. It's not like an Urban Meyer who's coached football and whatever. So, oops. So, I don't know. I agree with you. I think like I said, I've heard rumors that if he loses in London, that they're gonna fire him. Which, honestly, I'm not even gonna put as much blame on Nathaniel Hackett. I think it's Russell Wilson, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I just don't think the things I've heard about him is he won't even talk to his teammates. Or his coaches. They have to go through his agent or something like that, is what I heard. I don't know how true it is, but
Yeah, I can see it. I mean, look at Seattle right now. Like, they get rid of Russell, and right now they're more successful than they were with him ever there, at least in the last 3 years or so, this early in the season. Like, they're winning their division. Like, they're playing good football. They play as a team. Like, they genuinely like playing with Geno Smith. And, like, I am so happy for Geno Smith. It's like, he was electric at West Virginia, like electric football player, and he was so good at football, and it was so fun watching him. And I'm like, he didn't get his really good chance at in the NFL, and now he's like blooming into this whole other quarterback, and it's like some guys might take 6 years. Like the NFL, it's a huge leap from college, and some guys might not get it right away. But Geno kept himself in the league. He learned from Phil Rivers. He learned from Eli Manning. And those are two great football minds. And now he's put himself in a position where he's playing good football. He has like, I think, the highest completion percentage out of any starting quarterback right now, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's that guy.
He ain't right back though.
You're back. Geno Smith for MVP. Calling it.
Give it to the man. He's deserved it. He's earned it for sure.
Worst comes to worst, he gets comeback player of the year. Like, listen,
Well, maybe not that because of injuries, but
well, look. No disrespect to Saquon, like he's had a tremendous season. Me personally, he would be my comeback player of the year pick. Had I, should I have to vote right now? But like, what Geno Smith is doing, like I never expected him to be playing this well in the NFL. Yes, he was electric to watch in college. There's no question about that. But if you told me in August that Geno Smith would have the Seahawks. Obviously, he's not the whole reason, but he's definitely a big part of it. If you would have told me that he had the Seahawks at 4-3 at the top of the NFC West, I would have called you crazy.
yeah, I agree with that.
I agree with you. I am happy for him. It's nice to see a comeback story like this. The fact he's doing this in what, year 12, year 10, something like that.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's
At
crazy.
least at least 7 years. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Ridiculous.
So, moving on to my hot take, which I don't even know if it's really a hot take, but it could be a take, but I guess we'll find out. I think that the fall playoff this year will not include an SEC team.
Why?
Okay. Here's why. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but that's why it's a hot take. Okay.
I'll be right back. Technical
So,
difficulties.
listen,
Keep talking.
Tennessee's going to beat Kentucky this weekend. Okay. Georgia is going to beat Tennessee. Bama's going to lose one more time. Bama's going to beat Georgia in the SEC championship game. TCU is going to win out. There's one team. Clemson's going to win out. There's two teams. Michigan or Ohio State are going to be in. I'm Michigan and Ohio State. The other one's going to be, a contending team. There's three. We're fighting for a fourth spot, which could be a Pac-12 champion.
I think I know where you're going with this one.
Okay. Now, the SEC champion would be, which I don't know if I said this, Bama would beat Georgia in the SEC championship game. So the SEC champion is 2 losses. The runner-up has 1. Okay. But in my opinion, conference championships matter more than anything. So Tennessee wouldn't have played in it. So they're the caliber of a Michigan, Ohio State who didn't. To be honest, they're, it could, I don't know. So Tennessee is one loss against Georgia, didn't play in the SEC championship game. Michigan or Ohio State, one loss, didn't play in the Big Ten championship game. Georgia did play and lost in the SEC championship game. Okay. But you're already going to an undefeated Big 12 champion, an undefeated ACC champion, and a more than likely undefeated Big 10 champion at Michigan or Ohio State. Who do you put in at the fourth spot? You're comparing schedules, so Michigan and or Ohio State, TCU, Clemson. You're not putting a 2-loss Bama in. They got 2 losses. Okay. Now,
yeah.
Now,
Adds up.
I think it all depends on how the Georgia Tennessee game goes and how the SEC championship game goes, which based on what I said would be Bama and Georgia. If Georgia absolutely stinks Tennessee, I don't know. Who do you put in? So Andrew, TCU wins out. They're an undefeated Big 12
Yeah,
champ.
I was listening. I don't know. I just don't see a scenario in which, man, that would be tough.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly,
I just don't see a scenario where the SEC champion does not get in, no matter what, simply because strength of schedule, strength of record, and the opponents they've played and the eye test. Let's say you have a 2-loss Bama win the SEC. Okay, and you have your undefeated Clemson, your undefeated TCU, your undefeated Oregon, your undefeated Big 12 champion or Big 10 champion.
Well,
it's Ohio State.
Oregon would have 1 loss.
1 loss Oregon to Georgia. Yeah. I don't see where you're going to tell me Clemson is a better football team this year than Bama?
People should be.
This year is the best case for college football playoff expansion. I think this is the best.
Well, for now,
this year we need 8 teams.
For now, things could absolutely just crap could hit the fan.
I agree, but I think if you have 8 teams, I think 8 teams is the perfect amount for college football playoff. I think 12 teams is too many. I think that's stupid because you're going to get teams like, I don't know, maybe a Penn State sneaks in at 12. A 2-loss Penn State team is at 12 seed. Like, really? Do they really belong in a playoff game?
They do if considering they're only 2 losses and they blew out everyone else. Their only 2 losses would be to a top 4 Michigan and Ohio State, who are clearly better teams.
Agreed, but those 2 teams are also in the top 5. Like, if they can't hang with those 2 teams in their own conference, how can you say they?
But anyone could win.
I think they should go to 8. I think that's where it should stay. If it was my college football playoff, I would stick it at 8. But
they already said it would be 12. But you're telling, honestly, if you don't win your conference champion, this is the year where they need to put conference championships at the forefront, and then you rank conference champion from that. If you have an undefeated,
they definitely have put it up there in their priority list. We've seen it in the past, other than the one year they put OSU over Penn State, even though Penn State was the Big Ten champ. But
right,
other than that, they've shown the conference champion. If you're a 2-loss conference champion in the SEC, you should be in. End of discussion.
Oh, yeah.
Like
not
the SEC,
if you have an undefeated.
Say what you want. The SEC plays tough, physical. They have the best football teams there. 3 of the I mean, 3 of the top 10 are SEC teams.
But
3 of the top 5 are SEC teams.
I'm not saying that, but Clemson has beat ranked teams this year.
Clemson does not look like a top.
It doesn't matter. They won their games. They've come back. If you go undefeated in a Power 5 conference and you have played and beaten ranked teams, which Syracuse is a good football team. Syracuse almost won and just changed everything. If you undefeated ACC champ will get in, undefeated Big 12 champ would get in, an undefeated Big 10 team would get in, and a one-loss Pac-12 team would get in over a two-loss SEC team. Considering
I don't see that.
Only loss, you're not putting a two-loss team in. It will never happen. And
if it's Alabama, and if they lose on a game-winning field goal again in LSU, let's say it's a 12-9 football game, or another 52-49. They went on the road and played LSU, I would say if they lose to Ole Miss on the road, that's different. I guess they play Ole Miss at home. No,
Ole Miss and LSU are on the road. So.
Yeah, so they got two. That's 2 tough road trips.
But Oregon beat a number 9 ranked UCLA. They would beat a ranked Utah team and have already beat a ranked BYU team. BYU I don't think is ranked right now, but still you have top 10 win. UCLA is probably going to keep winning. Utah is going to keep winning, which is another. Utah is going to have the best losses in out of everyone. I'm taking a 1-loss Pac-12 team over a 2-loss SEC team, frankly, because they have beat ranked teams, and their only loss is to an SEC team week 1.
If anyone's going to get booted out of that top 4, I think it's the ACC champion.
Not if they're undefeated. I'm sorry.
Even if they're undefeated, I still say they get booed because the ACC is bad this year. Other than
you can say that, doesn't mean that
NC State they're gonna drop out because Devin Leary's out. Syracuse, we'll see how good they really are. They'll probably beat up on the weaker teams in the ACC. North Carolina is the only thing in the path of Clemson, and North Carolina lost to Appalachian State. So, how good is North Carolina really? They haven't even played a ranked opponent yet.
North Carolina.
And they're ranked in the top 25. Wake Forest is kind of iffy. Florida State is Florida State again. So, the ACC is probably the worst of the Power Fives this year. So, if anybody gets kicked out, I can see Clemson getting kicked out only because Clemson hasn't looked the part.
That's not there. They will put in Clemson if they are undefeated ACC champ. They're going to do that.
If it's Bama,
there is no maybe. I think
there's a case for it. This year.
You beat a ranked Wake Forest. You beat NC State's not, I don't think, ranked anymore. You beat a ranked Syracuse, and they still have to play South Carolina, who is now ranked. They're not going to put out an ACC, especially if Syracuse keeps winning and their only loss is to Clemson. Clemson will make it an undefeated team over a 2-loss team. That people would blow up crap if they didn't do that.
Well, this is the best case for expansion.
Well, we'll see. Maybe Clemson goes and loses to Notre Dame, and then they're just out in general. So, which probably.
Clemson doesn't even have a starting quarterback right now. They can't even decide who's who.
You know what's funny?
Clemson looks the worst for the undefeated teams. Clemson is the worst undefeated team right now.
Aaron?
Okay, guys, what's funny? Remember how I was saying how I think DJ is going to get benched this year, and then he starts playing really well, and then I apologize, and he starts pling like crap again?
No, don't say anything, because then he's going to start playing good.
Honestly, I don't know. If they let in hypothetically speaking, if they let in a 2-loss Alabama team into the playoffs over an undefeated ACC team, regardless of how they've looked, they would still be undefeated. The record stands. I think people would riot. And unless you're in the state of Alabama.
Yeah.
Unless you're in the state of Alabama and you're just thinking, well, G. Willigers, we make the playoffs with 2 losses.
Now, I will say, like Andrew said, Bama has a specific case. If if they lose close. Now, if LSU or Ole Miss beats them by like 2 or more touchdowns,
Yeah, then Bama's out. Kick them out.
right?
Gone. But if
But
they
like,
lose by another field goal again,
They
that
still have a
you
case.
can make a case for it. You can make it. There's a case for a 2-loss team to get in this year. Specifically, if that only team is Bama. Bama's the only 2-loss team I can see them making a case for.
well, and
Simply because of Nick Saban, Bama, and how talented the roster is alone.
well,
And I
their
think
offense is
Bama,
not as
if you
good.
played Bama and Clemson, Bama would kick the crap out of Clemson.
I don't know. Clemson's defense is pretty good. Their offense might
But
not be.
Clemson's offense is
It's hit or
finishing
miss.
third in the Big Ten this year. Clemson's finishing third in the SEC East this year.
I know. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying that. I'm just saying they would never, unless there's no undefeated team in college football. Then I think Bama's right back in as a 2-loss SEC champion.
Well, yeah, if that happens, but I don't see any way that doesn't happen unless some crazy stuff goes down in Beaver Stadium this weekend.
Well, if Ohio State loses and then Michigan loses to Ohio State, then there's 2 that are done. TCU loses to someone. I mean, it could happen. But well, that's our hot takes. Let's move into
Penalty box with me, your boy.
penalty box with Andrew Schultz. Andrew,
All right.
NHL.
Well, my Red Wings lost tonight in spectacular fashion as they took a L 6-2. Meaning there are no more undefeated NHL teams now. The Red Wings were the last of the undefeated NHL teams. Crazy, I know. Undefeated in regulation, that is, because overtime losses count as a separate thing. So it's like wins, lost, overtime losses. If you don't already know. So it's looking like we're getting it's gonna be a pretty spicy Calder race this year. We have Matty Beniers, Michigan Wolverine, winger for the Seattle Kraken, number 2 overall pick, by the way. He is doing fantastic already. McTavish, I'm blanking on the team he plays for right now. I want to say the Flyers, or maybe it's the Ducks. I'm blanking on the team. Center, playing really well right now. Soderblom for the Red Wings, playing really well right now. Needs to get a little bit more points, but because of his talent, he'll be in the race. And then we might have a goalie win the Calder for the first time since like 2002.
Interesting.
As he's currently the backup for Vegas, but he's got a .938% save percentage, which is like up there. You want to be above 930, basically. That's like the gold standard. If you're below it, you're pretty much garbage. If you're above it, you're doing good. He's doing that as a rookie. He's making good saves. Vegas is very talented this year, so they're going to kind of carry him as long as they play good defense. Some news just from around the league. Although not much is happening because it's still early in the season. Canadiens goalie Carey Price says he doesn't have a plan to retire yet, but you never know. The Vancouver Canucks are falling apart as we speak. They have no idea what's going on. Their owner is talking about a rebuild. Their players are like, what is going on? Their coach says they're playing the worst hockey they've ever played. So congratulations, Arizona Coyotes fans. You will not be last in the league this year for the first time ever. Or I should say the first time in a long time, because Arizona hockey is awful. The Fanatics CEO sold his New Jersey Devils stake. Not that really means much, unless you care about that. The Avs, reigning Stanley Cup champions, are struggling. Landeskog, their captain, is now out 12 weeks, which won't put him back till February. And then Vegas forward Kessel looks to tie the NHL's Ironman mark, which is like consecutive games played without injury. And he's like, I think it's like 800 games, I want to say, something like that, which is just 10 straight years of no injuries or playing through them. So Congrats to Kessel. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just hockey season's just starting to kick off. So
All righty. Well, thank you, Andrew. Pretty soon here we'll start diving into the NBA and college basketball, and we're just kind of a bajillion sports going on at once, and it's just great. Better than like July when we have one. So all right, let's move on. We'll try to get a couple in here before the break, and then we'll see. TCU as the 7th ranked Horned Frogs head to West Virginia to take on Mountaineers. TCU is given a 67.9% chance to win over West Virginia's 32.1. Spread is currently TCU 7.5. And the all-time record, TCU leads 4-7. I'm guessing they have 7. West Virginia has
that is it.
4.
Or no, TCU does not lead 4-7. West Virginia does. My bad.
We need to fire the guy who made this presentation.
That is on me. Fire me.
You mean West Virginia? You mean West Virginia leads 7-4?
Yes, West Virginia leads 7-4.
Okay.
TCU is down 4-7. That is on me. Attack me personally. Tell me.
So you're telling me TCU led at 4?
Go after Andrew in the comments.
So alrighty, well, what do y'all think about this matchup? I mean, you could easily say that this is a upset waiting to happen, but
yeah, if you're stupid.
Are you guys sold on TCU? I mean,
Max Duggan by a million. Dude's a competitor.
Max Duggan is nice with it. I can't lie. He is him. I know.
Dude has put himself in a Heisman race.
You just put him in the him conversation.
But can they get out to an early lead and not pay?
Who cares? You win, you win.
But I'm just saying, sometimes it catches up with you. Sometimes it will catch up to you.
Hey, TCU's got a great strategy. They hurt the opposing quarterback every single time, and it's working out so well for them.
Yeah, thanks for the reminder. Jalen Daniels, I miss you.
They've hurt Jalen Daniels. They took out Kansas State's quarterback, Adrian Martinez.
Wow.
Are they going to take out Jaden Daniels or JT Daniels?
JT Daniels, not
another Daniels. There's like 3 J Daniels in the college football.
There really are. There might be more. We just don't know.
Too many. We got Jalen, we got Jaden, and we got JT. It's too many to keep track of.
And we got JJ. Oh wait,
he's not a Daniels.
But he's a dog.
I don't care if TCU falls behind. They come back and win because of Max Duggan. So, yeah, that's where I stand.
All right. Well, Aaron.
It's upset at all.
Aaron, is TCU overrated or are they legit? What's your prediction?
All I gotta say is, Horned Frog Nation, let's ride. Or let's hop. I don't know.
Let's hop.
They're frogs. They hop.
Come on.
Give me TCU. It's Big 12 football, so let's say 44-32.
Well,
just tally it up as a win, Andrew. Come on now.
I already have a 10-point lead in these predictions, so Butson, go ahead and dig another hole.
Not so fast, my friend.
Hey, Butson, you might need a new shovel, dude. Like, come on.
Not so fast. Listen.
You go down by 11.
West Virginia. I don't know what to think of West Virginia, but they are at home, and you know that crowd's gonna be rocking. I mean, TCU is only given 7.5 to a 3-4 team. I mean,
a 3-4 team that's very talented.
They are very talented.
For sure. That's why I'm saying if TCU can win on the road, I will think if they can beat West Virginia, I definitely think they can beat Texas Tech at TCU. And I definitely think that they can go to Texas and Baylor and then play Iowa State.
And then they beat Oklahoma State on the road, or were they at home for that one?
They were at home.
Did they beat Kansas State on the road?
They beat Kansas on the road.
Kansas on the road. That's who it
was. So we'll see.
They also beat Oklahoma on the road.
No, they didn't. That was in TCU.
No, they were home for that one too. Yep. Man, I need to get my schedule right.
So give me West Virginia with a field goal. 1 second left on the clock. They do the kickoff, and TCU tries to do a Hail Mary thing, and it just doesn't work. So,
All right, Budson goes deeper in the hole.
moving on. The number 9 Oklahoma State Cowboys head to Kansas State to take on the 22 ranked Wildcats. FPI only gives Oklahoma State a 54.1% chance to win to Kansas State's 45.9. The spread is Kansas State at 1.5. And the all-time record goes to Oklahoma State at 42-3, and they've won the last 3. What? Real quick, boys, we'll predict this. I like Oklahoma State. I think that they are a really good football team, and I think they're going to start knocking on the door here soon as they keep winning. So give me Oklahoma State to win this game by, they'll cover, which it's only 1.5, so they'll cover.
Wow. So they'll win by at least 1 point.
No, they gotta win by 2. Oh, wait, no. They can lose by 1. Never mind. Anyways.
Clank, who you got?
I got Oklahoma State. I like Spencer Sanders. I like Mike Gundy.
I'm also going to go Oklahoma State. Their defense put them back in the game against Texas. Came back from a 14-point lead against a pretty talented Texas offense. So give me Oklahoma State, the real OSU.
The real OSU.
The
Alrighty.
Oklahoma State University.
Well, when we come back from break, we'll finish out college football and finish up the podcast. So when we get back, we'll finish it. Here we go. And we are back. The number 19 ranked Kentucky Wildcats head to the Volunteers of Tennessee, who are ranked number 3. FPI gives Tennessee an 82.9% chance to win over UK 17.1. Tennessee is favored by 12.5 points. And this Tennessee-Kentucky game is absolutely lopsided. Tennessee has 77-20-8. Tennessee has a 1-win streak. Well, boys, this is the matchup that this is very underwhelming, very underachieving of what we thought Kentucky was going to do. But
I wouldn't say underwhelming. I would say I'm just whelmed.
Oh,
yeah, just whelmed. I agree.
Just classic SEC football.
So like being a Vikings fan.
Yeah.
All right.
They're winning the North right now, and their only loss is to Philly. So
now I'm overwhelmed when I play college football.
I'm overwhelmed
specifically against me.
That's just me.
I'm just kidding. This is what my dog did, but this does what like my controllers look like.
That's what his PS4 controllers look like. Trust me, we know.
Especially after Madden games
or Fortnite
or anything.
Any of the above. Son of a
PGA 2K,
Fall Guys, PGA.
No, we need to like stream us playing video games.
No, we don't.
We don't have to upload it. Just keep it just for fun.
Oh, that I don't know. You would, yeah, it'd be angry Jacob.
We would get canceled.
So I would be so red.
Then the files get leaked, and then Jacob gets canceled.
Yeah, something like that.
Because I leaked them because they were funny.
And I told him to leak them. I said, "Do it."
Lord.
All right. Kentucky, Tennessee.
Kentucky, Tennessee. So, boys, what do we think is going to happen?
This is a game, I feel.
Now, here's the game.
It's a rivalry, for one. So, not that it looks like much of one. But I feel like Kentucky's going to play hard. I think Tennessee could overlook Kentucky. So it could be a lot closer than people think. I think Kentucky definitely covers, or they get blown out. So, yeah.
That's how this goes.
That's how I feel about this game. It could be an upset. I would not be surprised if there's an upset. But I also wouldn't be surprised if Tennessee wins by 45.
There's no in between. It will not be a close game. It will be blowout. There will not be a close game in Tennessee's favor, I should say. Kentucky could win close. But
If it's close, I could see Kentucky winning, but it could be not even close.
Not even kind of close.
Not even kind of.
Aaron, what do you think?
Well, kind of piggybacking off what Andrew said about Tennessee overlooking this game. I mean, you see who they got, after the bye week next week. They got Georgia. They got the big dogs. They got the top dogs in the country right now. Regardless of what your opinion is on them, they are unfortunately ranked number 1 in the country. So I'm going to go with Tennessee on this one, but I feel like Tennessee might be overlooking Kentucky, who they're not a bad team, but they're just not as good as we thought they were going to be this year.
Tennessee is not on bye week next week. I don't know if you meant to say that.
No, they
are.
They are on bye week.
Yeah.
They played Georgia next week.
Timeout.
They were just on bye week. No, they played UT Martin, which kind of was a bye week, but
yeah, okay, I'm wrong. You see, what happened was
I'm looking at their schedule.
I'm looking at my calendar to make sure I have the dates right.
Yeah, they already had their bye week.
Yeah, I thought they did.
Well, my point being, they could be overlooking this game and already have their sights set on Georgia because if they take down Georgia, well,
they're in the clear driver's
all
seat.
hell breaks loose is what happens.
You thought hell broke loose when they beat Bama. Those Tennessee fans, they're going to be picking up the stadium and putting that in the river. That's how crazy they're going to go.
Well, they're not at home for Georgia, so.
Okay, well, they're going to take Georgia's both their goalposts and put them in the river. But that's besides the point. We are talking about Kentucky and Tennessee. I am overlooking this game. I apologize. I got Tennessee.
I'm going to be completely honest. Georgia is going to make people think that they're not good, and then they're just going to absolutely spank Tennessee.
They could. Tennessee's defense is looking a little.
But that's this week. I really think this Tennessee Georgia matchup is going to be all overhyped. It's just going to be absolute, just steamroll.
Okay, so what's your pick of this week's game? Because next week we'll talk about next week.
I'm just saying.
Who you picking?
I'm saying that after Tennessee beats Georgia, they're going to have 2 losses. So
they're going to lose to Missouri and South Carolina?
It could happen.
Right. No. Kentucky's going to, I think, pull out a W in this game. I think that Tennessee is going to... Nah, I can't even say it with a straight face. Tennessee's gonna win this game.
Thank God.
I was like, how can I make them think I'm taking Kentucky? No, Tennessee's gonna win this game. But yeah, I just don't. Kentucky, after their 2 losses, they have 2 losses, right? I just want to double check.
Kentucky has 2 losses. South Carolina and Ole Miss.
South
Ole
Carolina?
Miss lost Will Levis and South Carolina, they didn't have Will Levis in.
But if Kentucky came in with just at least 1 loss, I would say this would be a bigger matchup. But Tennessee's gonna win. Their offense is really good.
Well, time to blow you 2 boys out of the water because I'm picking Kentucky. I got the lead to play with. I can pick the upset. I'm up 7 points. One game out of 4 isn't gonna hurt me. Give me Kentucky. In an absolute barn burner, 15-13, Kentucky wins.
How do you get the 13 points?
They missed the extra point. Wait a minute.
There you go. Or touchdown and 2 field goals.
Yeah, okay. All right.
And Kentucky wins it on a game-winning field goal after kicking 5 straight field goals. Give me Kentucky, though. I think Kentucky's defense is being slept on. Tennessee doesn't play a lot of defense. I think it could be a fun match. It's either going to be 45-42 or 15-14. So,
all righty, moving on. So we have the Ohio State Buckeyes,
the State University of Ohio.
They're the number 2 The Ohio State Buckeyes are heading to State College to take on the PB&J throwers of Penn State, who are ranked number 13 with the most whiny coach in the history of college football.
Frames Jenklin.
Frames
Frank
Jenkins.
Well, I don't know. Diane Ray seems kind of whiny too.
Brian Kelly's pretty
Whiny
whiny.
Ray.
Crying Belly seems pretty whiny too.
Yeah, him and his fake Southern accent.
FF.
I have a better Southern accent than him. I could coach LSU.
The South will rise.
And we're canceled.
FPI gives the Ohio State Buckeyes a 79.6% chance to win to Penn State's 20.4% chance to win. The spread is Ohio State given minus 15.5. The all-time series goes to the Ohio State Buckeyes at 23-13. And the Ohio State Buckeyes have won 5 straight. Now, this is the game I'm most excited about. Well, second most. The game I'm most excited about is to see a bunch of dead Spartans on Michigan Stadium. But
I'm gonna be at
number
that game.
2, I will not be at that game unless Andrew lets me know if his brother.
Nope, he's not playing Saturday.
So they lost, which means I'm not going. So
They're actually a low seed, so they don't play till after this weekend. So
boo. Okay, but
Just sneak me in. I got you.
So again, this is my second most favorite game of the week because I think Penn State's got a good defense. They got a really good pass defense. Not that really good of a run defense, especially after what Michigan did to them. Their run defense doesn't look as well. But they got a great pass defense. Joey Porter.
He knows he
uh,
is locked down.
that?
He's gonna be playing on Sundays.
I'm pretty sure his name is Joey Porter.
Yes, it's Joey Porter's son. I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Yes.
And then that D tackle is just gonna bust through Ohio State's O line. Not as a prediction. I'm just saying that their defense is good and that they'll put pressure on Stroud. And I think Stroud, when he gets pressure on him, is when things start to not look as well. Iowa, for example, if Iowa's offense was just something better than god awful.
Well, Petrus clearly was betting on all the OSU parlays last week because he had Ohio State at plus 2.5 interceptions, Ohio State at plus 200 defensive yards, plus 4 touchdowns. He bet the over, bet Ohio State on the money line, bet him on the spread. Like Petrus is probably the worst Big Ten quarterback. I don't know how you can watch a guy get worse week after week. Like, he was bad from week 1, and they're continuing to start him. If I'm Quinn Ewers, and let's say Arch Manning comes to take my job, I would go to Iowa. Because you can win 9-10 games just on their defense alone if you just gave them 2 touchdowns of help.
I would also like to see Ewers in like the Big Ten. Should Arch Manning take his job? But that's a topic for another day.
Like, are you kidding me? How Spencer Petrus still has a job at quarterback is beyond me. This guy has more interceptions than he does touchdowns.
And his first interception was awful.
He was going into the OSU game with 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions.
I could put better stats than that. And I've never played quarterback in my life. I'm sorry. I
spike the ball into the ground 30 times and have a better QBR than what he does currently.
Dear Lord.
But the game that we're really here to talk about is the Ohio State Buckeyes heading to Penn State and State College. Now, Ohio State is a great team. Their offense is explosive. Their offense is...
They are a great team. It hurts me to say it, but they are a great team.
But...
At least you're giving respect.
But...
I know how much you guys hate them.
Hey, you hate them, but you got to respect them. You know,
I respect the shit.
I respect them as players, but now I don't respect their head coach.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the head coach either.
I respect them for what they've been doing, but in my opinion, it's cute.
Cute, with quotations.
Listen,
Look, we all
sorry.
listen. We all know the real test for Ohio State is
I'm
going to be November.
sorry.
Okay, or whenever the game is. All right, we all know. All three of us, 1, 2, 3. All three of us know that the real test for Ohio State is going to be in a couple weeks. But we are not here to talk about that. I'm sorry for interrupting. Continue.
No,
Am I
I
wrong?
No,
I agree.
I think we should talk about it because it's. I mean, no matter what you do, Ohio State or I should say, the State University of Ohio and Michigan are gonna
State
be
University.
compared at every level because it's just who they are. Like, you can't talk about Michigan without talking about the team down south and vice versa. Like,
They're the top dogs of the Big Ten.
it
as
is
of
what it
this
is.
year.
Like, they are right now. Ohio State is an unstoppable force, and Michigan is that immovable object, and they're gonna collide at some point. They're, I mean, November 26th, it's going to happen. And, you have Ohio State, who has a great offense. Say what you will, they didn't play well against Iowa. Iowa gave them all the short field. So, yeah, they put up 54 points. Freaking high school football team could have done that against that short of a field.
Shoot,
But
I've been on the receiving end of those.
they didn't even play well. And they still played like they still dominated. But, Michigan didn't beat Iowa that bad. But, Penn State's a different story. Penn State, I think, is more on the caliber of, the top two. I think it's the top two and then Penn State. But Penn State can bite back. It was 16-14 at halftime, Michigan or Penn State. And Michigan dominated the first half. So I think this is the real test for Ohio State. Like, if they get in trouble early, like, how do you face adversity? Because against Iowa, they didn't really have to because Spencer Petras just kept giving the ball at the 25-yard line. So
to defend Michigan in a way, not because
they were on the road, like they played on the road. Iowa, which is different than playing at home.
But also, Iowa didn't turn the ball over. If Iowa doesn't turn it over at all in that game, they had 6 turnovers. There was 8 turnovers in the game. 2 Ohio State, 6 to Iowa. Awful game.
Iowa didn't even score a touchdown.
But my point is, which realistically, the Michigan Iowa game should have been 27-7. We gave them the garbage touchdown.
Garbage time touchdown, agreed.
But Michigan was playing well, but Michigan's problem came back in that game is we kicked field goals instead of touchdowns. That's been our problem for forever. But Iowa made us try field. Iowa did the bend, don't break defense, which is like how I like to play before I get blown out. Michigan just never got the chance to blow them out, which is okay because we went and blew out a top 10 Penn State team. I think it comes to show that 1, playing at home is a lot easier, but 2, is Penn State going to be ready for this game? In my opinion, I think they will. This is where Sean Clifford likes to play spoiler. We all know he's not that great of a quarterback, but damn well that these two teams, which really Penn State more than Ohio State, I think Ohio State is overlooking Penn State because of what Michigan did to them. Ohio State needs to understand is like Michigan did dominate that game. So take that film and do what you want with it. But we did it by running the ball. I think Joel Klatt said it best. Ohio State doesn't have the flashy running game like Michigan does, but Michigan doesn't have the flashy passing game like Ohio State does. So, and Penn State has a good pass defense, not a good run defense. So how is that going to match up? I don't know.
Michigan definitely has the potential to mimic Ohio State's offense, like with JJ and the wide receivers Michigan has. There is no excuse for us to not to, but like Michigan hasn't really had to do that because that's not their style of play. Harbaugh prefers to, say, we are going to shove this football down your throat, and if you can't stop it, that is on you. And that has been Michigan's identity under Harbaugh since he walked into the program. That was his identity at Stanford. When even though he had Andrew Luck, he was still running 12 formation, 2 tight ends. It was like, I'm still going to shove this ball down your throat because running the ball matters. Like, if Penn State can run the ball against OSU's defense, kind of do what Michigan did to Penn State, control the time of possession, don't turn the ball over. Don't play dumb. You know, you can't kick field goals against Ohio State and win. It's not going to happen. Penn State's got to convert in the red zone, which against Michigan they did. When they got into the red zone, they scored a touchdown. Clifford got down to like, what was it, the 5 or whatever, and then Penn State punched it in. And then Penn State, if they can take their field goals and make them touchdowns, they can make this game a lot closer than it is. And I know Jacob and I talked about it early on Instagram. It's like in 2016, will we see history repeat itself where Penn State gets throttled in Ann Arbor, they blow out Minnesota at home, and then they go and upset Ohio State? Can it happen? I don't think so, but I mean, it's college football in Penn State. I wish it was a night game at Penn State. I think it would make this game way more interesting. I think it would be way more fun if it was a night game, because then you get a another whiteout probably at Penn State. But I think it will definitely be a good game because Penn State's defense definitely has the corners to slow OSU's defense down or offense down. And is Jim Knowles ready to compete at a Big Ten level? I mean, he had a great defense in the Big 12, but when the Big 12 is frankly wasn't that good when he was there. I mean, it was just Oklahoma, and he never beat Oklahoma other than last year. I mean, I think it will be a great game. I think it will be a really good game, and it's a real test for Ohio State. Like, this is your first test. This is your first truly ranked opponent in the top 25. This is your true road test because nobody was at the Michigan State game for Michigan State fans. Like, they didn't even want to be there. Like, they knew they were going to lose. And they're going to lose on Saturday, too, because Michigan's going to run the ball down their throat for 400 yards again. But, I mean, I think this is Ohio State's true test. Like, how good is Ohio State? We've seen them blow out the bad teams. Can they do it against a good team?
And yes, Notre Dame, we're looking at you when we say you're not a real opponent.
No, because
you guys don't even have a conference.
You lost
to a Power 5 team. Imagine you considering yourselves a Power 5 conference and you don't have a conference. Get the I can't say that on YouTube, but you guys know what I want to say.
Yeah. Aaron, final thoughts on this game before we say our predictions.
Honestly, you guys kind of went into depth on this, but you know, we could see history repeat itself. I would not be shocked if, you know, Penn State beats the Ohio State University.
State University of Ohio.
Whatever. Also, like, it's like Andrew said, this is Ohio State's first real test. Like, this is their legitimate first real test. They're not playing Iowa, who was I don't even want to call that a defense, but also their offense kept giving them the ball.
Iowa's got a great defense. Give Iowa credit. They have a great defense. Like, they do not give up a lot of points. They really do not.
Okay.
When your defense is on the field, gets a stop, goes off, looks out, sees Petrus go, hey, you.
Here, hold this.
Linebacker, I'm going to throw it right to you. And just goes, I mean, what are you going to do?
Look, it's like you guys said with Penn State's pass defense. If Ohio State can run the ball and they can run the ball effectively, they're going to win. Because I haven't watched much Ohio State this year. I will say this. I know how that sounds. I'm not an Ohio State fan. I'm a college football fan. I love watching the good college football games, and I think this could be one of the best games of the year. With that being said, I'm going Ohio State.
With the Ohio State.
The Ohio State Buckeyes. I hate myself for saying that, but I had to imitate
Andrew?
Gus Johnson.
As much as I want to pick Penn State, I really do. I really think this might be a game where Ohio State runs away with it, and then Penn State blocks a field goal and takes it back for a touchdown. Give me Penn State 34-31.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So
not going to happen, though, because Penn State might get blown out.
See, did you take Penn State?
Listen. With the sixth-year senior.
I'm picking the upsets.
Hey, hold on. With the 6th-year senior, Sean Clifford, anything can happen.
I believe he's a 25th year senior at this point.
He's already got a wife, a kids, a second mortgage on his house. Like,
Pretty sure Jerry Sandusky recruited.
Oh, not so fast, my friend.
That's what Jerry said to Clifford.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying to Aaron right now, because I'm taking Penn State in the upset in this game. This is going to cause chaos in the Big Ten East. It's going to cause a rupture in the college football world. Penn State is going to come to play. Frames Janklin is going to get a top 5 win. And it's going to be because of that pass defense and the defensive line. They're going to get pressure to him. And then that running game on the front side of the offense. They're just going to run it down their throat. But Penn State's only going to win by 3. Because I think Ohio State, again, is a good team. And I do think Penn State is a good football team. I think Michigan just came ready to play. And I don't even know if that. I think Michigan just is a good team. And being at home helped them. And Ohio State is also a very good team. I do think they're probably at this point going to beat Michigan in Columbus by very close margin, just because it's Columbus and it's just going to be an absolute weird thing. Now,
it's going to be maize and blue there.
Now, if Penn State gets blown out or Penn State blows them out, then we're talking about something else. But we took a lot of time to talk about this because this was definitely our big game to highlight. So let's move on to NFL's best with Aaron Klinker. Aaron,
all right.
Get it right to us.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we had a pretty interesting week of NFL football, week 7, starting off with the Saints and Cardinals on Thursday night. The Cardinals, they made this a pretty interesting game. Their defense really stepped up, which is something you don't hear a lot with Cliff Kingsbury teams, but here we are. Kyler Murray did not play well, and Cardinals fans, I just want to let you guys know, Modern Warfare 2 comes out on Friday, so expect mediocre play. But that's besides the point. Next up on the Sunday 1 o'clock slate, Falcons Bengals. Joe Shiesty had his traditional 400-plus passing yard game. He now has I'm pretty sure I saw a stat the other day that said he now has the most 400-plus passing yard games in the NFL. I could be wrong about that. Yeah. But the Bengals, from the very first snap, came out, punched the Falcons in the mouth by slinging it to Tyler Boyd and Jamar Chase, the second NFL player to do the gritty. Not the first. That was Justin Jefferson. And then the next game, we had the Chiefs and 49ers, and oh my God. Whew. The Chiefs bent the Niners over the table. That is all. That's the headline. And then the Lions, Cowboys. Andrew, I'm so sorry this is happening. I'm secretly rooting for the Lions, except for when they play.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Love it when we lose.
No,
Don't be mad. You're sitting high on their 5-1 record or whatever it is your record is. You're sitting there clear ahead of the board. You're looking down. You're like, yeah, you all suffer now, peasants.
And speaking of peasants, we have the Colts and Titans. Titans fans, don't get too cocky. You guys are going to get spanked by the Bengals in the playoffs again. Ryan Tannehill is going to throw 4 interceptions, and that's going to be his 13th week. Okay?
I had to unmute. I had to unmute for that one. I was going to be unmuted, but I had to.
Okay. Hey, hold on, guys. I'm not even at the best part yet. And then we got the Green Bay Packers going up against the Washington Commies. And Aaron Rodgers, what happened? Oh, you poor thing. You lost. You lost to an XFL quarterback. You bum. Go back to your family. And speaking of families, Tom Brady. Tom Brady, sit down for a second.
Speaking of XFL quarterbacks,
you guys lost to PJ Walker. That's all. That's the headline. Now we got the next game that, ironically, this game was the best game all Sunday. Not that, a few games were that bad, but the Giants and Jaguars, and I was telling Butson this when we were watching football, like I never thought I would say that the Giants and Jaguars would be somewhat decent game. You know, the Giants down 17-3. But what did Brian Daboll do? He said, Saquon, get your massive quads over here. You're running the freaking ball. All right, you're running the ball. We're going to win this game. And the Giants ended up pulling it out. Only because Christian Kirk was like 2 yards short. Hey, Titans fan, do you know what it's like being a yard short? I'm sorry. I love bashing the Titans. And Ravens and Browns, and oh my God, Ravens, you guys didn't choke a lead. I'm so proud of you guys. I am so proud. You make me so proud. I'm like a proud dad when his kid finally gets an A on a test after studying so hard and failing the previous 3. And then Jets and Broncos with the dog mentality of Zach Wilson. Hey, Tom Brady, he's coming for Giselle. Get ready. Your kids are gonna have a new stepdad. The Jets made Broncos country throw themselves off a cliff, even though they didn't have Russell Wilson. Anyways, and then Texans Raiders. Raiders. Josh Jacobs is a dog. I'm not saying pay the man, but y'all might want to trade him in the offseason because you could get something for him. Anyways, Texans, you guys still suck. Seahawks Chargers. Oh my God. This was Geno Smith and Kenneth Walker dragged their nutsack all over that pitiful Chargers defense. Chargers, I had so much more hope for you this year. What happened? What happened? Anyway, that's all I'm going to talk about, that sorry-ass franchise. And then we got the Steelers and Dolphins. You know, I'm going to be serious here for a second. I know. That's not like me. The Dolphins look a lot better with Tua under center, and that's something I would not have said last year. So shout out to Mike McDaniel for building this offense around Tua and making it cater to his strengths. Because last year, if Tua was hurt and they were playing the Steelers, I don't know how that game would have gone. But Steelers, you guys are not going to finish above 500 this year. So just start the tank now. Just roll out the tanks. You guys can get a good offensive lineman, or you can get a top 5 pick this year and just go from there. Please, for the love of God. I can't watch any more of your games. And then the Bears and Patriots. Oh my goodness. Patriots fans thought they had the next Tom Brady for like what, 2 plays? Two drives, right? Yeah, they thought that Bailey Zappi was the next Tom Brady. But guess what? Mac Jones, he beat the Drew Bledsoe allegations for this game at least. And Justin Fields, my God, you looked. Let me just pull up his stat line for a second. He looked okay. I'm not going to say he played well, but he looked okay, considering how the Bears are.
Okay.
He looked okay. He did not look bad. He did not look great. This is progress, Bears fans. Don't get your hopes up, though. Let's just read off Justin Fields' stat line. 13 for 21. Wow, he did not throw the ball that much. 179 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, sacked 4 times for 32 yards, and averaged 8.5 yards per throw. And then on the ground, 14 carries, 82 yards, 1 touchdown. Stop taking away my fantasy points for David Montgomery. You too, Khalil Herbert. I'm looking at you. But good for you, Bears. You guys got a much-needed win, a much-needed let's get this thing right win. And, with that being said, that is the NFL's best with yours truly.
Best segment so far.
I will say this is something I look forward to every week.
All right. We are predicting every single game this week for the first time in TC Sports history, because we thought, you know what, doing 3 NFL games isn't enough. Might as well just run through them all and call it a day. So, Butson, take it away.
Alrighty, so here's what we're gonna do. The ones that are not highlighted, we're gonna say our winners and just list them. Each of us are, and then we'll go to a short break, come back, and we'll talk about the highlighted games to kind of break those down just a little bit more. We'll pick 3 games every week to break down, unless there's more that we feel. So, Aaron, the non-highlighted games, go ahead and just give us your winners. And if you want to, by how much, that's fine.
Okay. So Bucks Ravens Thursday night game. I got the Ravens. Lions versus Miami. I'm sorry, Andrew. I got the Lions. Let's go. Drinking that Kool-Aid this week. Pats, Jets. I got the Jets. Broncos, Jags. If this is
Hold up, because I gotta type this up. Hold on. Jets. Hold on, let's
faster.
find the Jets. You said the Jets.
Yes, I got
you got the
Jets.
Jets, Jets, and then you said you got the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Because it is in London, and they tend to play their best when they're in London for some
Well, I mean,
reason.
that's the second home field. All right, so Panthers, Falcons, and then you're going. All right, Panthers, Falcons. What do you got?
Panthers, Falcons. I got the Falcons.
All right, go ahead. Next.
Cowboys, Bears. I got the Cowboys, unfortunately.
All right, that's reasonable. All right, next.
And then Commanders, Colts. I'm gonna go with the upset here. I got the Colts.
I'm not sure if that's an upset or not.
Oh, it's an upset. Trust me. They're starting Sam Ellinger.
All right, next.
Giants, Seahawks. You know what? I got the Giants. Geno Smith is still him though.
All right, next.
Then we got a spooky Monday night matchup: Bengals, Browns. I got the Bengals. Baker Mayfield ain't here to own the Bengals this time, so yeah.
All right, next.
Raiders, Saints. I got the Raiders.
All right, next.
Steelers, Eagles. I got the Eagles.
Steelers, Eagles, and you chose the Eagles to stay undefeated. All right, next.
Unfortunately. Titans, Texans. I really could give two craps about this game. Give me the Titans because the Texans are awful.
All right, and then I'm just gonna go through mine real quick, and then Butson will go to you. All right, so Baltimore, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's dead, or as AB called them, Tampon Bay. Give me Baltimore. Detroit's dead. Give me Miami Dolphins by 90. Jacksonville, because Broncos country is not riding to London. They're staying in Denver. Give me Carolina, because I don't know. They're just gonna win this week for whatever reason. Give me Dallas because Chicago sucks. Give me New Orleans because J-Mo's going to be back there. Give me the Jets because Zach Wilson's just that dude right now. Give me Philly over Pittsburgh. Give me Houston over Tennessee. Actually, yeah, give me Houston over Tennessee. I'll take the Commies over the Colts with Taylor Heineke back in action. Give me Geno Smith in Seattle. He ain't going to write back. And then give me Cincinnati. This might be another Joe Burrow 500-yard game.
All right, I'm gonna just do it. Give me the Bucks. Give me Detroit.
Oh God.
Give me the Jets.
The Jets? You skipped to that game? Oh my God. Okay.
Give me. Hold on. Who's
A
next?
little faster here, Budson. We're running out of time.
Give me Denver.
Oh,
Give me the Panthers. Give me the Boys. Give me the Colts. Give me the Giants. Give me the Bengals.
The Bungles? The Bugles?
Give me the Saints. Give me the Eagles. And give me the Tennessee Titans. I think I said them all.
We got just our 3 highlighted games. Just we don't have much time, so let's knock them out.
Here we go. When we come back from break, we'll go ahead and talk about the highlighted games.
Brad. Hold on. I'm sorry. Okay.
All right, here we go. Let's let's start with the Cardinals and Vikings. Okay, my screen, stop. Okay. Cardinals and Vikings. Aaron, let's just go. Just do it.
Thank you, Jacob. So this is 2 days after MW2 releases. And we all know how Kyler Murray is with video games. He just like me, for real. So I got the Vikings winning.
Like Clink said, Modern Warfare 2 comes out Friday, so I'll be playing Kyler Murray in those lobbies Sunday morning.
Oh, we gotta squad up with him.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna probably see Kyler Murray QB1 dash card in my MW2 lobby at 12:59 p.m. or a.m. 12:59 p.m. Right before that 1 o'clock kickoff. So give me the Vikings. Vikings are good this year. They're winning the North. I've accepted it, and I just wish the Lions could do something.
Andrew, I got a Vikings jersey that will fit you if you want to drink the Kool-Aid.
Hey, if I wasn't a Detroit fan, I'd probably be a Vikings fan just because.
Amen.
Just because I like Vikings and their colors are pretty nice actually. So, and I was born in Minnesota, so. But I'm a Detroit fan, so I'm in permanent depression, unlike you. So you get brief.
Well, that's just for this year. That's just for this year.
Did you
Next
just
year,
dab?
You get one good season every 5 years, and that's it. So
this is the year we lose in the NFC Championship, unfortunately.
all right, Butson, who do you got?
Not so fast, my friends. The Vikings suck. Give me Arizona.
Apparently, so do your picks, so.
Just kidding. The Vikings don't suck, but I think with D-Hop back, Arizona's offense is just a little bit spread out. I don't know if James Conner's gonna be back, but Eno Benjamin looked really good, and I think I mean Vikings usually play well at home. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout either way.
Kirk Cousins at 1 p.m. Man, you don't want to mess with that.
Listen.
Dude's gonna come out with a chain on. Kirk Cousins has a chain now. You know how dangerous this man is?
This man is evolving.
That Coles catch and a chain. You know that man's walking into Coles on Sunday afternoons with that chain on, with Jay Jettas doing the gritty behind him, and Kirk's little 2-year-old son doing the gritty right behind Justin Jefferson.
But Joe Burrow smoking a cigar. We got Kirk Cousins wearing a chain.
I was just talking to my dad about this. He tried to offer me Jamar Chase for Justin Jefferson.
Okay, we're not talking about fantasy. Get that shit out of here.
I know. Listen. Here's my point.
Drink the Vikings Kool-Aid.
Is as having Justin Jefferson, he doesn't like. That's the primary target on the Bengals. Jamar Chase has other wide receivers who are great caliber. Now, in regards to fantasy, that's good. In regards to this game, Cardinals have more to divvy out to than the Vikings do, which is why I think the Cardinals are going to lock up Jay Jettas.
Okay.
Well, you're wrong, because there's only one man who locked up Jay Jettas. His name is Jeff Okudah.
And Darius Slay.
Slay.
Listen.
Detroit Lions players. We do that. We like that.
Okay, but y'all still lost. Y'all gave up a touchdown to KJ Osborne.
I don't want to hear it. Okay.
Yeah.
Cardinals suck.
You know who your daddy is.
Next.
You know who your daddy is.
Next. 49ers and the Rams.
Oh, God.
Shanahan owns McVay in the regular season. Give me the Niners.
Give me the Niners. Maybe they'll use CMC for more than like 3 drives.
Not so fast, my friends.
Oh, here's another free point.
Matty Ice, the real Matty Ice, is going to win this game. I think the 49ers suck.
Matt Stafford's been playing like he's frozen all year. So, yeah, I guess he is Matty Ice.
Quiet you.
I'm sorry, Andrew.
Packers. No, fine. Hey, he's not my quarterback anymore. He got his ring. That's all I wanted for him.
Yeah,
so.
you just got Jared Goff.
Packers head to Buffalo to face.
Oh no.
The cheese has gotten bad, and it's rotten, and it's ugly, and the Packers are dead. You heard it here first. The dynasty is over. Rodgers took all that money, and guess what? Now you can't build a roster. Well, guess what? Now your roster sucks, and you're stuck with the fraud of the head coach who's just gotten his job because he was under Shanahan, okay? That's the only reason he has that job. And just like Nathaniel Hackett, they're frauds, okay? Get the cheeseheads out of here. Buffalo and the Bildos are going to rain down in Buffalo, and they're going to win probably 70-10.
Oh, my God.
That's not going to happen. But not so fast, my friend. Just kidding. I will never, ever, ever pick the cheeseheads. I don't care if they're playing. I don't care if they're playing. I will never
them over the New York Giants in London.
He says, "I don't care if they." Well, I don't give a fuck who they play.
I don't give a fuck. Listen, listen. That
Actually,
was
let's see
when
when else you picked the Packers.
Andrew. That was when I didn't because I didn't think the Giants were legit at that
Hey,
point.
you picked the Packers over Chicago too. Hold on.
Oh, come on.
Chicago sucks.
Yeah.
And that's the only other time you picked them, actually.
Yeah, but I got that pick right though. So
Yeah, but you got it wrong against New York. So
I'm not complaining. Listen, if I lose a pick because the Packers lose, I'll take it. That makes my whole Sunday.
I picked the Packers against Minnesota, and after the Chicago game, because Aaron Rodgers owns Chicago, I'm never picking Green Bay.
Yeah. And how did the pick against the Vikings go? That's right. 23-7. I think that was the score. I don't remember. I probably blacked out
Hey,
here.
we'll see you in Detroit. Okay, you come to our.
Okay, you guys
we'll
can
see
have
you
the
in
game
real
in Detroit.
moments,
We're going to the playoffs. You're not. You're going to the first overall.
You're running the table, okay?
Running the table.
We're gonna beat Miami, then we're gonna beat Chicago, then we're gonna beat Buffalo, then we're gonna beat Green Bay, then we're gonna beat some other dumb.
You guys will probably beat
Aaron.
Then we're gonna beat another team. Then we're gonna beat it.
I think our toxic fans have come back.
Aaron, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore.
No, we're in Ohio, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay, but
I'd rather be in Kansas.
Andrew.
Listen. Josh Allen is gonna. So here's how this is gonna go. This is like the scene in Avengers Endgame, which I bring up nerd shit way too much, but I don't care. So
Josh Allen's gonna go.
No.
Right on those folding.
Not so fast, my friend. So here's what's gonna happen. Aaron Rodgers is gonna say he's gonna be on his perks, right? He's gonna say, "I am inevitable," and then Josh Allen is gonna be like, "And I am the MVP," and then snap away the entire Packers offense. Well, I guess the only offense they even have is Aaron Jones, but.
All right, Jacob, who do you got? Because you're the only one left to pick.
Andrew, not so fast, my friend.
Oh, wow. That's another free point.
And
the final score. Hold on. Listen to me. I haven't finished. The final score is going to be 54-10 in favor of Buffalo, not 70, you silly goober.
Okay.
Because there's not enough time on the clock for that, you silly man.
Stephon Diggs is going to be digging the grave of the Packers. He's going to, when he scores that last touchdown to win the game, he's going to be here, Aaron Rodgers. Get in, boys.
So when he scores the first touchdown 2 minutes into the first quarter?
7-0 Buffalo.
Correct. Start digging. Listen. When all the Packers fans start talking, you know what Diggs is going to say? You, shut the fuck up.
Wait. It's just Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones. There's no one else.
And Matt LaFraud because you know what? No, we're gonna get demonetized because of this. I don't care. Fuck Matt LaFraud. Fuck Jair Alexander. Fuck Preston Smith. We took Zadarius Smith from you, bitch. Fuck Kenny Clark. Fuck Darnell Savage.
All right, gonna have to mute you now.
All of you.
Oh wait, I can't.
Cousins owns your franchise.
All right,
done. We give him host powers. He can't be muted.
Oh no! What have I done? All righty. So this was the 10th installment of TC Sports. I hope you're enjoying this. Alongside Andrew Schultz and Aaron Klinker, I'm Jacob Butzine, and I'm gonna send you out of here.
Fuck State, go blue.